Introvert or extrovert? It seems like such a simple question, right? But the answer might just reveal a whole lot more about you than you think. And trust me, by the end of this, you're going to see yourself and probably everyone around you in a totally new light.
So think about it for a second. Most of us have a ready-made answer. We'll say, oh, I'm a total introvert, or I am definitely an extrovert, no question. We kind of wear these labels like badges of honor, don't we?
But what if I told you that for most of us, that label we've given ourselves is, well, it's just wrong. And that little misunderstanding, it's not as harmless as it sounds. It could actually be shaping your friendships, your career, and even how you think about your own potential.
That's right. This isn't just some fun personality quiz. This is about how you actually navigate the world. So let's start by digging into a huge misconception. First up, let's talk about the introverts. You know the stereotype, right? They're shy, antisocial, maybe a little boring, but that is just scratching the surface. Introversion isn't weakness at all. It's a source of incredible, profound depth. And this really lays it out perfectly. On the one hand, you've got the myth, this withdrawn person kind of tangled up in insecurity. But the reality, on the other hand, is so much more powerful. Introverts are often these incredibly deep, reflective, self-aware people. That quiet nature, it's not a bug, it's a feature. So what does that depth really look like? Well, for one, they are deep thinkers. They process everything internally, looking at all the angles before they say a word. Second, they form these truly meaningful connections. They're all about quality over quantity. Third, because they spend so much time in their own heads, they become highly self-aware. And finally, they listen way more than they speak, which makes people feel genuinely heard. And that, right there, is a superpower.
And this quote it nails that last point. When an introvert is quiet, it's not because they've checked out. Their silence isn't emptiness. It is focused, active attention. They're taking it all in.
Okay, so let's flip the coin and talk about extroverts. The stereotype here is just as shallow. They're loud, they're attention-seeking, maybe even a little superficial. But that's missing the point completely. Extroversion isn't just noise, it's energy.
And again, it's all about shifting our perspective. The myth focuses on the volume, but the reality is about the vibe. Extroverts bring this special kind of electricity into a room. They're expressive, and they can be incredibly inspiring.
So what does that energy do? Well, first, they bring that energy into any space, acting as the social glue that breaks the ice. Second, they are comfortable expressing themselves, which lets them build these huge networks. Third, they adapt super quickly to new people and new situations, which helps them jump on opportunities. And finally, their enthusiasm is just contagious. They motivate and inspire people to get up and do things. And that's really the heart of it. An extrovert's natural boldness isn't just for them. It so often becomes a catalyst, creating momentum and sparking real action in everyone around them.
Okay, we've seen the strengths of both sides. But as you were listening, you might have been thinking, I see parts of myself in both of those descriptions. If that's you, then this next part is probably the most important realization of all.
The truth is, for a lot of us, maybe even most of us, the answer isn't either or. There's a word for this flexible, powerful middle ground, ambiversion. And this is where most of us actually live.
So, what on earth is an ambivert? Well, it's pretty simple. It's someone who has qualities of both introversion and extroversion. And the key word here is adaptable. Ambiverts can thrive in social situations, but they also really, really value their alone time. They can switch back and forth depending on their mood, the people they're with, or the environment. Does any of this sound familiar? Like, you might love a deep conversation with a couple of close friends, but a massive party just completely drains your battery. Or maybe you can be the quietest person in one room and then the most expressive person in another. If you're nodding along right now, there's a good chance you're an ambivert. And here's the absolute key. This doesn't mean you're confused or inconsistent. It means you have a wider range. This adaptability is a huge strength, letting you connect with all kinds of people and succeed in all kinds of situations. So the most crucial point is this. We need to stop thinking so rigidly about these labels. It's not about forcing yourself into one of two little boxes. It's about understanding your personal energy, what charges you up and what drains you. Let's just put it all together here. For the introverts, the core strength is depth, and they recharge with solitude.
For the extroverts, it's expression, and they recharge through social interaction. And the ambivert, their strength is balance, and their energy source is totally situational. See? No one is better than the other, they're just different. At the end of the day, the goal isn't to change who you are or to try to fit into some mold. The goal is to deeply understand your own strengths, whether they come from a place of quiet depth, expressive energy, or adaptable balance, and then learn how to use them wisely. When you understand your own nature, you stop comparing yourself to others, and you start appreciating the unique way that you shine. So, I'll just leave you with this one final thought. Forget the labels for a minute and just ask yourself this. In which environments, with which people, do you feel most truly, authentically alive? The answer to that question, that's where you'll find your true nature.